Now and then also talk about issues relating to health, but this time mental health. And mental health cases care at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital has been brought to a standstill following the strike by the nurses and a shortage of basic essentials at that particular institution. And you would recall that since Monday, TV3 has been following that particular story. And when we visited the facility, it was also clear that most of the consulting rooms had been closed.
The nurses declared an indefinite strike on Monday, October 31, over what they described as a dangerous working environment. Their absence has heavily impacted on healthcare delivery at the hospital. A resident in psychiatry at the hospital, Dr. Salasi Adom, is worried.
The nurse is the one who will meet you, talk to you, try to find out why you are here, and even give us some basic information before the folder comes to us. They prepare the folders, do the initial assessment. So without them, we can just not function. We can't run the clinic without them.
A visit by TV3 to the Accra Psychiatric Hospital on Wednesday, November 2, revealed almost all consulting rooms were locked. The reception, which is the first point of call for patients, was closed. Another resident in psychiatry at the hospital, Dr. Susan Sifa, took the news team through the intensity of the strike.
When the patient walks in, they have to see the recorder. So they have a green card. They give the green card to the recorder. Then the recorder picks up the folder. Then the folder is handed over to the nurse over here. But currently the nurse is not available. Currently, it's very difficult working without them. So we don't even allow the patients to enter now. When they come and we think we have to give them medications, we just collect the folder. We fill the medications for them and then they go.
Rebecca O'Day, a relative who brought her patient to the hospital, is in a dilemma.
And then by no doctor in the inti miso mi wejum na masra kwan ti se omo se member ochina but ocha minti member.
I'm told there are no doctors, so I pleaded with the assistant here to get me someone. The place looks abandoned.
Me ba me hu se aha do bie ni ho nurse doctor.
TV3 was told management was invited to a meeting with the Labour Commission.
And that meeting has been held, and the Labour Commission held that meeting with the nurses at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, urging them to go back to work because their strike is illegal. TV3's Daniel Opoku is joining us on the line to let us know what really went into that decision by the National Labour Commission. Daniel, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Right, good afternoon, Martin.
Did the National Labour Commission consider the cases and the issues brought before them by the nurses before ordering them to go back?
Right. The National Labour Commission yesterday was able to meet with the Minister of Health and aggrieved nurses of the psychiatric hospital. Now, the National Labour Commission gave three major rulings. The first ruling was for the Minister of Health to initiate steps to acquire logistics and drugs for the nurses at the Accra Psychiatric Hospital. The second one was for those who were hurt as a result of some patients attacking them. Their management should also see to it that they get well. And the last ruling was compelling the striking nurses to go on strike. And coming back to your question as to whether the National Labour Commission considered the interest of the nurses before asking them to come to work. Indeed, when I spoke to the Executive Secretary, Charles Bawadua, he said the Commission considered that, but he was emphatic that the fact that you have challenges at your workplace, that you are not satisfied with something or your employer is not providing the things or the tools you need to work with them, that doesn't necessarily also mean that you may have to withdraw your services. And again, the Commission said they were worried that the aggrieved nurses did not petition the National Labour Commission or notify the National Labour Commission before withdrawing their service, and even did not come to the Commission to report to them about what the employer was supposed to do that he couldn't do. They considered some of these things before they gave the ruling.
Daniel, thank you for that very apt update from the meeting between the National Labour Commission and the psychiatric nurses. We would, in our subsequent bulletins, pick the thoughts of the psychiatric nurses, whether or not they will be complying by that directive. But let's come back in studio and wrap up the interview on health with Dr. Gabriel Biel Benaku. Sir, our final question to you with regard to psychiatric healthcare has been that it seemed to have been neglected totally, or very little attention is paid to it. Do you think that is the same problem that runs through financing or funding, which is why we're having this problem?
Yeah, thank you very much. As part of my work over the last 15 years, I've been working with the Basic Needs Ghana. It's a mental health bias NGO,
okay,
and working with other NGOs, over 124 NGOs specialized in mental health in Ghana. I quite understand what is happening in the mental health sector in Ghana. What has happened over the last 13 years is that a total neglect and stigmatize on the mental health workers and the mental health service delivery in Ghana. That's what has happened.
It's a major issue of
stigma. It's a major, and it has to do with leadership. It has to do with institutional arrangement. Most of the leaders, even at the top highest, have stigmatized mental health programs in Ghana because they are, even though they are health workers, they have stigmatized people who are working in mental health.
So this one is a two-pronged problem. It's stigma and funding. It's
a very thick issue, but thank God we have known the issue.
Okay.
One, all the legislative arm of government are faulty of this problem.
Okay.
Cabinet, the legislative and the judiciary have not acted in support of naturally legislating well for mental health service delivery. You remember for about 10 years before we had the Mental Health Act in 2012, it's taken another 4 years for us to have the legislative instrument on mental health that will actually instruct Ghana Health Service and the Mental Health Authority to provide or receive money from central government to finance mental health programs in Ghana. That has not happened, and that is the cause of the problem. Until Parliament decided that let's pass on the LI so that we can tell the Republic of Ghana to go this way to get money to finance mental health, we will continue to have this vicious cycle of problem in the psychiatric industry.
We are grateful, and clearly we would also keep coming back to it and ensure that the right thing is done. But thank you very much, Dr. Gabriel B.L. Benaku, finally for your time. He is the national chairman of the Ghana Coalition of NGOs.